Second video on things I wish I knew about the cello before I started playing. In the first video, basically just some housekeeping, good maintenance of the instrument. Go back and watch that video, give you some ideas as far as the rosin, protecting your instrument and various things. What I want to talk about now is the actual playing of the instrument. It sometimes skimmed over quite quickly is your posture. You'll find that if you have a better posture, uh, I have memories of my teacher being extremely strict, making sure stand up, make sure your back is straight, keep your elbow up. Um, but the reason you're doing this is for the first thing is a lot of cello players will have troubles with their shoulders or their hips. So this is preventative. We want to prevent injury, especially if you're playing hours at a time. Fortunately, that's not me. But if I do start getting really serious and start playing, where I start feeling pain is in the bow arm. There's a little deltoid up here, and it starts to really smart. The other pain that I have tends to be in the left hand because you have such a stretch with your notes. So if you ended up playing in keys in which you have, instead of a closed hand position, you have this nice open position, uh, this palm or this hand starts getting really sore. Um, the only thing that I have found to kind of relieve that is being able to just really kind of stretch your fingers out at the end of practice and loosen all this up. The other one is just playing more regularly. Usually that stretch here is just that you're just not used to playing. This one here on the shoulder is you are just playing too much. So one of the things I've done to kind of relieve some of that pain in the shoulder is just extend my end pin. So this end pin, I want to make sure it's extended out as far as I can get it, not so far that it falls out. Um, Maybe even I'm a little bit of a taller player. So by doing that, what I'm doing is actually lifting the bottom of the instrument up. And so my bow, I'm now using gravity to my advantage. My bow is now dropping with gravity. I'm not straight up and down trying to pull in and using all these extra muscles. So just to keep that in mind, you'll find this is kind of a game of efficiency. You want to make sure that you're playing such that if you had to play for hours at a time, then it's not a big deal. One of the other tricks is actually make sure you have a pillow. So I've got taller legs. You want to make sure that your hip is actually higher than your knee. There's a lot of cello players that report that they've got hip problems or they're quite sore. So this is just something that a lot of players usually kind of carry along with them is grab a pillow, and because a lot of times you don't have a choice. Sometimes you're just given whatever chair that is available, or you just happen to find something around. So anyway, so you have that. The other one is balancing the instrument. Um, One of the things to make this instrument comfortable to play is you can see right now my hands are free. The instrument is balancing correctly on the end of the pin, and I've basically got the cello is probably sitting a little bit too low. I'll tell you why in a little bit, but you want to make sure that this piece of the cello here is sitting on your heart. And for myself, because I've got the back of the cello, the bottom I should say, out, then I also have a bit of a contact point here, and it just rests just slightly on my shoulder. So these are all actually, I don't know, I'm probably making a few cello teachers cringe by telling you this, but this is what has been working for me. So by keeping this instrument in balance, I'm removing all that tension of trying to grip and hold on to this thing. One of the other advantages is, one of the problems you have is this particular cello does have a little rubber end pin. So this is really quite nice. I find I can remove this and it'd be a point. So there is a point here so you can stick it into a floor. carpet generally. Wood floors, gym floors, not so friendly. But anyway, I find that's actually not a bad little thing to have on the end of your cello to keep it from disappearing on you. Um, the other one is a purchase of just one of these little, I call it a puck, but anyway, the end pin just goes in the end, and then this, it has a little grippy on the bottom, holds everything from sliding away on you. So yeah, make use of those. You want to make sure the instrument doesn't slide away, and you want a nice balance. The other point of contact actually is my knee will be touching this point, just the back of the cello, and you can actually use your other knee to kind of sandwich everything together. I think if you ever seen any of the Baroque cellos, they don't actually have a pin. You can actually see that they have this crazy instrument kind of pinched between their knees. But for myself, what I find is if I'm holding too tightly with the knees, then I end up hitting my own legs with my bow. So anyway, just trying to find a comfortable position for this to